chartered psychologist Dr. Audrey Tang, and in my book, The Leader's Guide to Resilience, I talk about how we can build mental and emotional fortitude in ourselves and also within our organizations so that we not only survive crisis, but we're able to rebuild even when we're exhausted and then go further and thrive. Why bounce back when you can spring forward? And in this series of videos, what I'd like to do is to talk about how we can apply some of these exercises that we might use on building our own personal resilience to building our professional resilience as an organization. So the first is to identify what your organization stands upon. What are your pillars of resilience in your organization? Now, many people identify physical, mental, and emotional pillars. Some may have financial, others may have spiritual, others may have purpose. You can fill that last one in with whatever makes sense to you. But what I then like you to do is to indicate whereabouts you are on each of those pillars. For example, if your organization has a lot of people going off sick, if there's a lot of absenteeism and so on, maybe your physical health is not all that high. So you might want to put a line around there, sort of around the 3 or 4 mark. Perhaps when it comes to mental health, you really invest in employee well-being. Perhaps you really care about how your teams are doing. So maybe that's quite high. Emotional health is your relationships, not just within your teams, but perhaps within your network as well. Are you able to connect with other departments, or do people tend to work in silos, for example? So maybe you're about a 5 there. And then you decide what that last one is. Financial, maybe with the pandemic, it hasn't been all that great. So perhaps you're about a 4 here. The reason why we do this is to be able to have a visual representation of where your organization stands, which means you know which areas to work on.